Hey beautiful people, welcome back to the channel. I'm Josie with Awakened Soul, and we are here for a reading about the person on your mind and the connection you share with each other. Today's pop-up reading is basically going to be all about them and what is going on with them. I set the intention that this reading would be timeless and find you if and when it was meant to. So if you are here, it is certainly for a reason. There are likely going to be some important messages for you here today. As always, listen to your intuition, take what resonates, leave what doesn't, and if you find that the reading just isn't fitting the situation or fitting your person, you are also welcome to check out other videos or readings on my channel instead. Please never force anything to fit. But I will mention that this is going to be a very specific reading. And again, it's custom tailored to what is going on with your person. And I did set the intention that this would find those of you out there that are really looking to understand your person better. Maybe they're confusing to you, or you've sensed that something is off within them and you're not quite sure what. We're here to pick it apart for you today. So the first spread that I have gotten out for us is basically what is changing within your person, what is happening within them right now. This is meant to give you clarity. After that, we are going to dive deeper into the tarot, where I will pull some cards out on their thoughts and feelings about you and the connection to give you some clarity as to what's going on in their inner world. We may also get cards out on their intentions. I'm going to free flow today's reading and kind of go with the flow based on what I feel like I intuitively need to pull from. No matter what, we'll get a few channeled messages out from them to you to see what they would like to say. If they felt like they could be open and honest, we'll pull some tiles and charms later on in the reading for bonus confirmation and insight. You may see their name come up or important symbols for the connection. And as always, today's reading is going to end with a message just for you, whatever you need to hear the most right now from universe. And I do that to help you reset and recenter your energy and your focus back on yourself, which is always so important to do. So yeah, we're going to hop to it, you guys. I hope you're having an amazing day. If I haven't said that already, I'm having an amazing day. Let's get to it. So representing your person and the changes that they're experiencing, what is going on with them, we have the despicable face. And these two cards came out on their own to kind of clarify this. We have the Ouroboros, the great serpent, as well as mortification. The animal, the bardo, the stubborn, the starborn, the stubborn, I don't know, maybe your person is stubborn. That was funny. The starborn and the castle, okay? The stubborn. Oh my goodness. Okay, I needed that laugh. Maybe some of you out there needed that too, especially if your person is stubborn, okay? Maybe they're a fixed sign. Shout out to my fellow fixed signs out there, Aquarius, Taurus, Scorpio, and am I missing one? I don't know. I think probably, but anyway. Okay, Leo? Yeah, Leo is fixed, isn't it? Yeah, Leo is fixed. Okay, shout out to my fixed sign comrades out there. Anyway, oh my goodness, you guys. I needed that laugh because what your person is experiencing right now is pretty intense. So maybe we all needed to get that out of the way before we get into the like heavier side of what's happening to your person, because I really don't want to make light of it. It seems like they're going through a really difficult time, and maybe that's why I felt called to get this reading out for you guys here today, because someone out there really needs to understand what is happening to their person. They are purging a lot, and to say that is such a massive understatement. Your person might be going through ego death or dark night of the soul. They might be going through a big spiritual shift or change. Maybe they recently had a big tower moment in their life that's causing them to reevaluate themselves and things. I can't say for certain. All I can say is that they're going through it. They're going through a really, really difficult time right now, but it is a good thing, and we're going to talk about that too. I did bookmark a couple of pages for the despicable face and mortification. Some of you guys like it when I pull out the book. Some of you don't. it's totally up to you what your preference is. When you see the book come out, you can fast forward. If you enjoy it and you want to read between the lines and see if there's any hidden symbolism, you're welcome to do that. It's basically what you would like to do. But I do it for a reason, because her writing is impeccable and there's like a lot of symbolism that comes through when I read from the book. So, but anyway, to get to the point, since I'm all over the place, similar to your person, they're having a lot of hidden wounds come up right now. They're having a lot of insecurities come up. They're having a lot of things that they have buried away in the sand surface right now. And there's a big purge going on within your person. And yes, they're resisting it a little bit, okay? And I think they've resisted this for a really long time. Like, if I'm being honest with you guys right now, I think universe has tried to show them their shadows, has tried to put people in their life to help wake them up or act as a mirror for them so they could do their inner work many times, and your person has avoided this or ran from it, or similar to an ostrich burying its head in the sand, tried to like completely deny it even though it was right in front of their face. I think it involves wounds surrounding the self. There could be attachment wounds. There could be fear of abandonment wounds. There could be just like, it's a distorted sense of self. Okay, basically what your person is faced with right now is recognizing that they have a distorted sense of their self and other people around them. And they're facing this. It's almost like they're facing their demons right now, and they're putting them to rest. This is a cycle your person's been going through for a very, very long time, and I honestly think it's been negatively impacting your connection, right? A good phrase that kind of sums it up for you is, you know, when people are wounded, when people are hurt, they have a tendency to bleed on those that did not hurt them if they don't, you know, kind of stitch it up and heal themselves first, right? And so I think that's something that your person has been experiencing, where they were wounded at some point in time. They had these issues, but instead of healing them and taking the time to nourish themselves, they continued to repeat those patterns in other connections with innocent people that didn't do that to them, but they deflected and projected and, you know, pushed a false image onto other people as if they were the ones that caused it. Like, your person's been in this rut where they're going in circles, they're going in loops, they're projecting their own issues onto others, and then the connections disintegrate, they fall apart, they break down, and your person's been going through this over and over and over again. And it's likely been impacting your connection quite a bit because this person hasn't done their healing work, and now they're in this stage where they're kind of like in this in-between land where they're looking at the past version of themselves, they're starting to identify the shadows, they're starting to identify what needs to change, but they're not quite in the changed category yet. They're kind of in the middle. In the guidebook for the Bardo, it talks about it being kind of like in transition. It's an in-between world. You're not quite here, you're not quite there, you're in the Bardo, you're in the in-between. And that's where your person's at right now, okay? Which to me, I'm viewing as progress, because before they were in complete denial. So good for them. I kind of want to applaud them a little bit, because now instead of avoiding the work, they do have a level of recognition that it's something they need to do, but they're not quite wholeheartedly in it yet, if that makes sense. So I am going to pull up the guidebook. I want to read these 2 cards for you. This is your cue to go grab a glass of water, step away for a minute. If you don't want to listen along, you can fast forward, you can skip ahead, whatever you'd like to do. But I highly encourage you to listen along. And I used our ending cards as bookmarks. So I pre-pulled those to use as bookmarks. So I'm going to set them to the side for the closing out of our reading here today. So, okay. So first up, we have the despicable face. What is hidden, unaccepted, and shamed? The despicable face is never seen. Rather, it is kept in hiding to save outward appearances. This card appears when something below the surface wants to be witnessed in order to be transformed. Everyone has their own version of the despicable face and their own reasons for assuming it is an abomination. It could be a buried resentment, an insecurity, or a physical characteristic that holds us back from expressing our true self. Remarkably, once revealed, it is not despicable at all. It is human. It is interesting. What once was thought of as an error becomes an asset on our journey of the alchemical transformation. This card connects us to others and to humanity as a whole. Through acceptance, we lift the veil of perfection and reclaim our energy. Honesty and acceptance are the balm that heals the most tender of wounds. To go deeper, watch Edward Scissorhands. Shout out to anybody who has seen that movie, by the way. And to ponder this deeper, acceptance as enlightenment, okay? So as I was saying, your person has some deep buried wounds, issues, insecurities, perceived flaws, whatever they might be, that they've been avoiding. They've been burying it away, hiding it away like an ostrich with their head in the sand. They've been avoiding this probably for a long time, okay? Some of these things might have been following them for most of their life, for some of you watching out there, okay? And your person is in the process of transforming the way they view themselves. They're not... Their ego is getting broken down, okay? Their ego is breaking down right now. They're going through that process where maybe they have no choice but to put their pride to the side and start seeing themselves as human. For some of you out there, your person has a big ego, a very big sense of pride, and so they don't want other people to see them as flawed, and so they choose to hide anything they perceive as a shadow away from the world so that everybody views them as perfect or with a perfect reputation or whatever it might be. And this person is going through a process of uncovering that, whether they like it or not. It's kind of like a forced transition from universe. And anybody out there that has been through an ego breakdown before, like a true dark night of the soul, knows that that is not fun. And it's a common misconception, I feel, that we go through like one round and then we're donezos, we're good to go. That is not the case. You can go through many rounds of Dark Night of the Soul. I can tell you from my experience, round one for me was the most intense. That was the hardest. That was very, very, very intense. And then I pulled out of it. I went through my spiritual awakening. I got into my spiritual ego where I thought I knew everything. And I was, maybe a little bit high and mighty because, I had my psychic gifts active. I thought I was on the right track. And then boom, out of nowhere, round two, Dark Night of the Soul. And my spiritual ego had to get broken down. So, sometimes people do have to go through several rounds of Dark Night of the Soul. Anytime our ego gets out of control, sometimes the universe intervenes and helps us to re-break it down again. Because at your core, you are your soul. You are your witness consciousness. You aren't your thoughts. You aren't your feelings. You aren't your created personality. You are pure consciousness. And so sometimes we go through several rounds of Dark Night of the Soul. Your person likely is going through their first, from what I can see, because this, from their perspective, feels very new and unfamiliar. So it's a lot for them to take on. Now I'm going to read mortification next to you guys, because this also confirms the fact that they're changing. We have decay, death, and decomposition. Mortification is the great alchemical operation of darkness. What was once composed now decomposes. What was once presentable is now despicable. This stage cannot be avoided. The underworld has taken us into the dark interior of its belly, and here we reside until spring. Through the natural process of decay, we descend into depths we didn't know existed. The alchemist soon finds mortification is the stage of regeneration and sacred power, where the soil is fertile and rich, offering nourishment for tomorrow. This stage cannot be rushed. The darkness must have time to do its work, to dismantle and to loosen, to free us from old scripts and stories. As we learn to surrender to this great operation, the earth churns and wisdom whispers in the dark. She envelops us with grace and the promise of what's to come. Okay? So, like I said, your person is in the process of changing, okay? They're kind of in this stage right now where they're being broken down so that they can be rebuilt, okay? And they are resistant to this because they've been going through these cycles for a long time, but this is fate. This is a destined time for your person to go through this transition. They have had a tendency to wall off their emotions as well. I think that's part of it. When this card came out, I got a very strong message to pay attention to the eye, okay? There's healing and there's nourishment in the tears. I'm looking at this abstractly, like an eye almost crying flowers, right? Your person's had a tendency to hide their emotions, to wall off their feelings, to pretend that they're not there, or even put on a fake persona for other people around them, like they're beautiful and happy and shining, even when deep down inside they might be hurt or upset or saddened by something. And so there's healing in the crying, there's healing in the tears. Your person is experiencing like a purging of those feelings. So they're going through this process. They're going through a lot right now. It might seem confusing to you externally because maybe they're very different than they were months ago, years ago, whatever it is for you. But nonetheless, this is a process they have to go through and they've been avoiding. So it's extra difficult for them right now. It's almost feeling like it's been forced upon them for some of you. So yeah, I'm not surprised that this came out. We're pulling on their thoughts and feelings for you now. So we're going to do that. And as I'm shuffling, I invite you to check out the description box of my videos. I have a Patreon, a YouTube membership. I have a merch shop. So you're welcome to check that out if you like. And I would love it if you'd like the video, subscribe if you're new, and you can also share a comment down below with the collective if you're looking for ways to support my channel, my work, and the community here. I would appreciate you greatly. And thank you again so much for being here. I am happy you are. Okay. Whew, yeah, okay. I'm like, oh, geez. Okay. Alrighty. All right, so yeah, your person's thoughts and feelings about you at this time. I don't know if you're acting as a mirror to this person or you're like revealing their shadows to them. I suspect that you've played a role in this process happening to them for sure. They may have kept some secrets from you. Like, I'm not even going to lie to you guys. They could have kept some pretty heavy secrets from you. In fact, I'm going to dive into this in a separate reading. I wasn't planning on doing an extended for today's reading, but I'm going to do that. So if you want to check it out, you can find a link down below in the description box or the pinned comment or straight over on my Patreon. There's definitely some kind of secrets that this person has kept from you involving a third party. Now, the third party doesn't necessarily have to be romantic. It could be a friend, a family member. It could be a mindset, a job, something. But I feel like this is going to be a whole separate reading, and I'm not going to take up the rest of our time here today just unpacking that. So if you're curious, you can check out the extended. Overall, yes, I think this person has hidden a lot from you. They've hidden secrets from you. Even if those secrets are just feelings or emotions or thoughts that they've had. They're very guarded and protective over themselves and over their emotions. What's interesting is that we have the 10 of Cups and the Sun coming out here, okay? This is telling me that when they think about you, when they're in their feelings over you, they're like the purest of the pure. They see hope, they see optimism, they see the potential to have a real long-lasting connection. They see promise, they see fulfillment, they see abundance with you. But yet they're still feeling like they need to guard themselves off. And yet now they're transitioning into a place where they feel as though they have this awareness that they need to work through that, because they're kind of self-sabotaging a really good thing with you sometimes by being overprotective, by being stingy, by being frugal, by being way too guarded over their time, energy, love, resources, whatever it is. They're recognizing that that's actually sabotaging a potentially really good thing with you. So whether or not you are in communication with this person or not. I'm going to not go through all the potentials. I'm not getting anything specific. So I think that if you're watching right now, everyone's story is different, and that's okay. So take it as it fits with your situation. This person is aware now that they've been sabotaging things with you. You know, to what degree, I can't say for certain. It'll be different for everyone, but no matter what, there's been sabotage, and they feel like they might be messing up a really, really beautiful thing, like the perfect connection for them. And they have this awareness now that they need to work on that they have inner work to do, and they're not as resistant to going through those changes as they once were. So, okay. They do have a lot of love for you. I will tell you that much. This person has a lot of love for you, and it's very pure love. It's very powerful love. It's not superficial. It's very strong. They've definitely thought about having forever with you or going the distance with you. They've at least thought about that, and I think that they do have a genuine desire for that with you, but they also know that they're sabotaging, and maybe they feel like it's gone too far sometimes. So, and when it comes to the secrets and the third party that they've hidden from you or not revealed to you or manipulated, we'll unpack that in the extended. I'm going to hop into channeled messages now to see what they'd like to say to you. Okay. I don't know what you want. That could also be projecting, okay? Just saying. Maybe they are confused, and so they're projecting it onto you. I can't be with you. I miss seeing you. Some of you might be in separation from this person, and they feel blocked from being able to reach you. You could be in another connection. They could be in another connection. Maybe it's been a while since you've talked to each other. This could also be avoiding their emotions. So if you're already with this person, they could be saying, I can't. I have an issue being intimate, emotionally open, okay? I miss seeing you. I still have feelings for you. So, yeah, I have a hard time communicating about my feelings. What have we been saying throughout this whole reading? They have issues. They wall off their emotions. They like to skirt by and pretend everything's okay even when it's not. They want everybody in the world to view them as perfect or has it all together even when they don't. So that's one of your issues. Or not one of your issues, that's one of their issues that they have to unpack. Okay, that's funny because we have two cards that just fell to the floor. I'm focused on my career and I'm distracting myself with work. They came out together. So your person may even be going to such extremes to avoid their emotions, to like overwork themselves, okay? So, you know, people have different types of coping mechanisms. There's all kinds of unhealthy coping mechanisms out there. That's so fun, isn't it? People can overwork themselves. People can struggle with addiction. People can struggle with over socialization, or, you know, staying so busy to the point where they don't have time to feel their feelings, right? There's all kinds of different unhealthy coping mechanisms. Maybe your person's is overworking themselves, right? They would rather work and work and work and work and work and do anything that they can to avoid thinking their thoughts and feeling their feelings. That might be where they're at right now. And, you know, unfortunately, sometimes we live in a society where that is praised. People that are super hard workers get praised. You know, oh, you know, they work so much. They're such a hard worker. That's great. That's good. People get praised for that. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I myself am a very hard worker, and I pride myself in that. But I have also been the type of person in the past to overwork to avoid my feelings. So it's all about balance. And, if you're doing something with bad intentions, like to literally avoid doing your healing and feeling your feelings, that's when it gets to the point where it's bad. It's not good for your head. It's not good for your body. There's a need for balance. And right now your person's overworking to avoid their feelings, okay? Do you see the signs too? Get out of my head. Your person feels like they're bombarded with signs about you and feelings about you, and then they try to avoid them by running away, and then they don't get so far. So your person's going through it. They're going through it, okay? All right, let's get out, let's see, Tiles and Charms next. Tiles and charms. This is for bonus confirmation. You might see symbols or initials, names, anything of the sort. It gets a little loud. If the noise bothers you, turn the volume down until you see me lay everything out. Okay, F-I-E, and I was gonna say if that's an N, I'm gonna laugh, and here we are, okay? We have fine, everything's good, I'm okay, don't worry about me, I don't have feelings, I'm good to go. That is so perfect for your reading. Like that is your person's go-to word and agenda, is to say everything is fine, I'm okay, nothing's wrong, I don't have feelings, like that. I'm not even going to pull extra letters. That came out and it's perfect. Chef's kiss. Thank you, universe. That's your person for you. They like to pretend everything's okay even when it's not. And that's something that universe is forcing them to acknowledge, okay? That they need to feel their feelings and they need to do their work. They need to do their real work, which is healing, not just overworking themselves to forget their feelings, okay? We have a rabbit here with a pearl. This could be a present or a gift. I think there's luck coming your way, or for this connection, there's some kind of an offering or a blessing. We have a white circle. I take the circle charms as closings out of cycles. To me, the white represents the crown chakra. So some kind of cycle about receiving divine communication is coming to a close. AKA, I think your person was in denial of what God was pushing them to do, what universe was pushing them to go through, and that cycle is ending. It's in the process of ending, and they're actually listening to what needs to happen to them. We have a 3 looped key. I always take those as like the key to this is eliminating the third party. Okay, we have bananas. That's bananas. I don't know, for my fellow millennials out there, I feel like anytime we hear the word bananas, we think of the song Holla Back Girl. So shout out to anyone out there that also had that start coming through the second that word came out. So anyway, I can't even have a straight face. I'm hopping away from that now. And then we have the angel. So the divine is watching out for you. They're watching out for your person as well. So okay, time to get your personal messages before we hop into today's extended reading. Message number 1 and 2 were already pulled because I told you I pulled them to use as bookmarks for the books. So here we are. Good to go. If you need a minute to recenter your energy, grab a glass of water, take a couple deep breaths. You're welcome to pause the video. I'm going to hop straight into it. Your first message is forever treasured. Friendship, family, and love are precious gifts. Keep sight of what is most important. And then your affirmation of the day, I highly encourage you to affirm with me, whatever way you like. You can comment it, read it, listen, whatever you want to do. I forgive myself for past mistakes and failures. We are not flawless, and we never will be. A mistake does not make you a bad person. It makes you human. Maybe your person needs this affirmation too. Just saying. But yeah, you guys, I'm leaving this here. I'm going to hop into the extended where we're going to spill the tea on whatever the third party secrets are. If you're joining us there, you can find a link below. If you are leaving me here today, I want to give you a big shout out and thank you so much for being here, for supporting my work, for supporting each other in the community. You're a beautiful soul. I hope you know it, and I can't wait to see you for a future reading. Bye for now, everyone.